Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode number 8 of Business My Way. And today I would like to actually talk about the choice. Why choice? I've been playing with Access Consciousness tools for 7 years now. And one of the things that founder of the Access talk usually talks a lot. He talks a lot about it. It's a choice. His usual like responses to different questions are just choose, or choice creates awareness. Yeah, that's basically the most common answer to the questions that people ask him. And for me, it was like when I used to hear it over and over and over again, I used to think like, bloody hell, what is he thinking about? What is he talking about? And it's like, what does he mean by that? What is choice? And so I couldn't kind of figure out what does he mean by that. And what did I do is, I would say maybe year and a half ago, I started actually to look at what is choice for me. Like I started to explore for myself what he actually means by that. And last week I started something. I started a 30-day program called Searching for Happiness, which is basically every day I go live in one of the Facebook groups and talk about choosing happiness and how to be happy, and look as well exploring for myself what happiness is. And because I have to come and do Facebook Live every day and I talk about what I have discovered kind of that day about happiness and what happiness is for me. And at the same time, it actually creates something more. It creates more awareness about what is. And I start to kind of notice what choosing is for me. And today, even I was on the coaching call, and there was think about being a chooser and being a chosen one. So these are all the things I kind of discovering for myself again. But even though in this last like 18 months, when I start to actually look at what choice is, it's how it actually creates, how choice is actually, it's not about choosing between two things, or it's not choosing to do between this and that, or it's more like nothing is created without choice. You have to choose first something, and then you kind of, sorry, I didn't turn my internet off my phone. People sending me messages. So basically, I don't know what they stop now. So it's basically how choice creates everything. You have to choose before something actually actualizes in your life. Nothing really happens. No actualization really happens without choice. If you don't choose for something, it's not really as well like asking for something or praying for something. It's more like, I'm having it, I'm doing this, and then I go and take some action, take whatever awareness comes up, whatever is required to get this thing out into the world. Even though it kind of sounds obvious, like, of course, you can't create something unless you actually choose to create something. But it's not actually that simple, because in our mindset, in our programming, we are taught to do something else. We are taught to either uh, wait for something to happen, look for something. Then there are people who are what we call go-getters, who actually just go and take it by the force, or just work long hours and create something for them. So it's basically like, yeah, we are taught different programs, but not different programs. We have installed in ourselves different programs that actually kind of limits and prevents making choices. And we are taught we either have one choice or the other, or we have to choose one of the lesser evils, or things like that. But we are not actually taught that something, we just choose it and we just go for it and we just create something. And I remember about 2.5 years ago, I left one of my jobs. Well, I had a one job at the time. Only thing is, like, I can't, I haven't stayed in a job like for more than 3 years. So so it's been like I had like many jobs, many different jobs. So I left this job, and like that on a day, I just left because I just couldn't make myself to actually do it anymore. And 2 months I was like feeling sorry for myself, and you know just I couldn't find something that I really liked. And because at the time I was living, I basically live in a countryside where there's not that many job opportunities. So my one option was to find something that's remote job. So I kind of felt sorry for myself probably for about 2-3 months. And I was on the call with one of the access consciousness facilitators. So I was on a 12 months program with her, and I think that was the end of it. So I'm just sitting there again, talking about the same thing and the same problems, and she kind of told me off. And at the end, she just said, "Just choose." And then I kind of got myself. It's almost like she lit my ass on fire. I I kind of felt guilty for being this pathetic loser, sitting on a couch and expecting something to happen. So basically, I don't know, I just went on like a choosing frenzy. I looked for anything in online. I looked for anything I can apply. Basically, whoever would give me money, I just applied for those jobs. I got one and it didn't work out. I got the next one, it didn't work out. And then in my local newspaper appeared like what's it called? Advertisement for the part-time job in my local town, which it's not something I would like to do for the rest of my life, but it was a part-time job and it didn't involve lots of like working with people, because I really like kind of working myself. And I knew that it's not gonna last more than 3 months. I wanted to use that job to actually find something that actually works for me. And that job was kind of perfect for me. I literally had to sit down. I literally had to sit in hall of the supermarket, and I used to sell windows and doors. So basically, I was sitting every day for 4 hours. 5 days for 4 hours, and basically sort of sell windows and doors. But I didn't have to actually go and approach people. Like in a busy supermarket, people just come and go. Basically, I had to sit there just in case if someone wants a window or a door. And I had maybe 2 or 3 clients a week. So, and it takes about half an hour to serve one client. So literally, I was sitting there doing, and I was basically in my head, I was just either doing access consciousness clearings or processes, making plans for what the things I could do, and things like that. And pretty much within 2 months, I had created my own job. I created my own business. And so I stayed another months in that work because I couldn't just leave because of the contract. So it was a choice to actually create something for myself. Instead of sitting and feeling sorry for myself all day, I actually created something that worked for me. So I stayed in that kind of position. Uh, Basically, I started to get my own clients. I started to get more awareness. I I created something that worked for me. And because I was working on myself a lot, after a year, this stopped working for me as well. So I changed again. So basically, all the choices we have create something, and then on top of that, it creates something else. I have people in my life who actually they wait for something perfect to happen, and then like they don't look for jobs. They don't look. They instead of actually taking something that would lead them to something else, they just sit and wait for something to happen, and that is being a chosen one. It's basically waiting for something to choose you. It's like waiting for Prince in a white horse to come and get you and save you instead of actually wake up and save yourself. And then you don't really need the prince. So, yeah, what are you not choosing that could actually create more in your life today? Like, there are days when I don't really want to, but even that is a choice. Like, let's say my guilty pleasures are crime series like Criminal Minds or Law and Order. So there are days when I watch those. Like I could actually spend a whole day watching those. But that's my choice. I know it doesn't actually create greater for my life, but it's actually getting there because I starting to notice instead of actually judging myself for watching those shows, I'm actually kind of stopped doing that and actually noticing how it's actually changing because you can't actually change something that you judge. It's quite hard. It's actually impossible to change something that you judge. So I would, yeah, and the same with my body. When I stopped judging it, at least not that much, it's actually started to change. And it comes with a choice. Even not judging yourself is a choice. And what I learned this week doing the searching for happiness, because I have to actively choose being to be happy every single day. I need to do either processes, access consciousness processes, ask the questions, or when I'm in a situation where I kind of flip out or I react in a way that is not the word. I react like either I go into the anger or frustration or annoyance. It means like in that moment I'm choosing being angry instead of happiness. So in those moments, I actually, because of this program, not because of this program, because I chose to do this program, I'm kind of forcing myself to choose be happy instead of be angry or be frustrated or anything else. It's almost like I'm practicing to choose instead of going off into frenzy of something. Uh, get angry and then spend all like couple hours and then a couple hours later you notice that you just used your anger and haven't actually created anything. Or on last week I had a situation where I was angry at someone, and I kind of chose happiness, but not to the end. Well, actually, I didn't choose happiness because you can't be partially happy and partially angry. So I kind of made this anger not as intense, but anyway, meanwhile, I actually sprained my ankle. And it happens when you are kind of going off and reacting to things instead of choosing actively something that's actually going to create more. Okay, so yeah, look at the because I used to think that you can't choose something that is like, especially emotions and feelings, that they are out of your control and they just happen to you, and so someone else is guilty. But when you actually start to choose not to be angry, choose not to be guilty, choose not to be frustrated or hate, you actually learn that you are in control of your own life, that you don't have to go off in the and go crazy and don't know, shoot half of the school just because you're unhappy with yourself or someone else, usually someone else, not with yourself. And you kind of realize that you are the source of whatever is being created in your life. You kind of notice that no one is at fault. And when you realize that, you can actually create anything in your life. I'm not saying I'm there yet. I'm not 100% there yet when I can get to choose something and it actualizes. I'm still kind of playing with it. I'm still practicing it, but because we are not taught how to do it, we are taught that we have to sit and wait for something to happen. And then we watch all those people go by and create their lives, and we are just sit there and waiting for something to happen. We've been taught all our lifetimes how not to choose. And so choosing like even 18 months, even this week, is not enough. You have to practice and practice it every day. And every single day, I get new awareness about what is. And that's really important in business, because even like, unless you are, if you're, unless you are born in a business oriented family, it's it's not in your blood, how to say, it's not in your program to actually do the business, especially if you're born in a family that is on welfare, or even in, I don't know, in a children's home, or with parents who are constantly going to work and you don't really see them much. It is actually not, I, I don't want to say, I don't want to use the word hard, but it seems hard to actually build the business if you don't know how to build it. It's basically you have to learn and unlearn the things that you have learned. And this is where choice really comes as a really good tool, because you choose to do the business, you choose to do the programs you are creating, you choose to do the product. But if it's something doesn't work, you choose something else. You don't just quit. You don't just because one thing didn't work out, you just stop doing it completely. And maybe even your choices and things are not for this time. Maybe you're living so far in the future that these things are not going to work today, but they might work in 20 years. So who knows? I'm kind of going into Back to the Future. So yeah, just look at the things that were, yeah, play with the things and how where you can practice choosing. Just choose something, even like choosing something to eat or choosing something not to eat, choosing for walk, not choosing for walk, choosing to go for walk, choosing to actually create something in the business. Like doing every like I kind of was born in a family where my dad was a business owner, but I wouldn't say he was a very good business owner because he was always working. And I think if he didn't work, if he had a job, he would work less. And even though, and I picked up lots of these things myself in the business, and I didn't want to work long hours. I'm kind of lazy that way. And so practice, practice, and practice. And but you have to choose to practice. Like I chose this searching for happiness because I wasn't sure what happiness is for me. So I chose to do this program. And just by choosing to do this program, I'm actually practicing my choosing because every single day I have to choose to be happy. Even though I'm not happy the whole day, I'm still, it's something in my awareness and it's still something I'm practicing to actually choose something that I don't like and I choose something that I do like. So play with it. Play, look at the things where you think you don't have a choice. Even if you don't have a choice, you still have a choice. Even no choice is a choice. Even not doing something is a choice. And yeah, look where you can actually practice this kind of no, what that would be called. Yeah, choose. Yeah, create something that you can practice. Like I created this 30-day program so I could just practice it. And what is it that you could choose to practice your own choice and choosing? Now, post notes on your mirrors, post notes everywhere, reminders on your phone, on your laptop, on your computer. Get a buddy to actually, check in every day and talk about these things. Because even like for me, sharing my experience on, even though in a short Facebook Live, it's actually makes me kind of accountable for showing up every day to do the program. Plus, when I say it out loud, what have I learned? It helps someone else, I hope, and it's creates something for me as well. Just because I choose happiness and go in my head about that doesn't mean I'm actually uh, that I could actually create as much as when I'm actually sharing it on Facebook Live, like I do now. Just by doing this show, doing it every single week, I'm not doing just because it creates content or because I just could blab about something or that I could actually, I don't know, get more people on my YouTube or my Facebook page. It's actually creates something for myself. Like energetically, it creates something more for myself. It creates visibility. It gets me out of the. It gets me. It's not. Yeah. It's not just. It's really hard to explain, but it creates consistency first of all in my business because I'm not most consistent person ever. So I'm actually using these things to facilitate myself. So what could you use in your life to facilitate yourself? Maybe it's a Facebook Live, maybe it's something you could do every day. And after a while, it becomes just part of you. You don't really need to facilitate yourself that much, but it becomes like your second nature. It's the same like eating crap food and then suddenly you want to go to something that you consider healthy food. It's hard for the first few weeks because you still want to go back to the kind of bad food. But after a while, it becomes your second nature and you're a completely different person. Well, thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you in a few minutes in the Online Business Can Be That Easy group. Have fun choosing, and see you soon. Bye bye.